welcome to our 76th Indiana Matt Guerrilla Radio. I'm Joe Caprino. I have Mike Reiser. At least I have got all my Christmas shopping done. I do not know if Mike has.
I did a lot yesterday. Kim's out today, kind of finishing it up. So she's the real MVP today.
Yes,
she had to go to work. I stayed home.
Yeah,
I watched. I watched Fred Claus. I was watching Christmas Vacation. I watched Klaus on Netflix. So I'm in the Christmas spirit right now.
Yeah, I am too. I have the Jingle Gorilla Christmas sweater, Indiana Matt exclusive. We have contracted with Walmart, and they are selling them at Walmart now. Got a contract with them. It's going big, Indiana Matt.
Yeah, we're breaking through, my guy. I think I'm gonna have to go get me one of those. I have a Christmas party I'm trying to go to tomorrow. Maybe I'll be rocking it. I don't know if they'll get it. I don't know if they'll understand why I'm wearing a Gorilla, Christmas shirt, but people in the know.
Yes, the people that need to know will know. No, I know. I was texting you this the other day. You have two daughters. I have one, and shopping for daughters is not fun nor easy. So, anyone out there, and note, everyone, we still do not have a Christmas tree up. Just if anyone's keeping track at home, we have like one day to do it. So maybe we'll get it up.
One. I was all gun ho. I was like, when the girls were young, we went out. So, I guess to get off subject, this is a Christmas story, though. But when the girls were young, I growing up, I always had, like, a fake tree. And Kim was like, we need to go get a real tree. And I was like, okay. So we go out there. We go to this tree farm in Cherville. And I go up there, and they give me, like, a little bow saw. And I'm like, what am I gonna do with this, man? I thought they were going to be an axe. I thought I was going to be out here sawing this tree in half forever. It took me, like, 2 minutes. The first 4 years of the girls' lives, much like everything when you very first have kids, you're gun-ho and they're never going to eat McDonald's and you're going to be this great parent. And then you're like, man, it's 8:30 and I know they'll eat chicken nuggets and I'm going to buy a fake tree and put that thing up. And the girls decorated it this year.
Nice.
I used to be particular about how the ornaments went on. But now I'm like, hey, you guys did a great job.
Oh yeah, no. Nick, our girls are a little bit older than the Frozen, so it's a little bit harder.
Yeah.
And they're the preteen. You have the one teenager. You have the preteen that you're not sure exactly. It's like they're right below. I don't know. I was texting my wife constantly. Like, what do I get her? What does she need? She doesn't need anything. Number one, they don't need anything. What does she want? She wants a puppy, and we're not getting a puppy.
I thought about getting a puppy too, man. I really did. I was always against dogs, and then there's this barkless dog. It's hypoallergenic. My youngest daughter is super allergic to dogs, and I was like, man, I'm gonna do this. And then I found out they're $5,000.
Yeah. Ooh. No, thank you. Hard pass.
I'll buy you guys a car when you get your 16 for $5,000.
Yeah. No, the luck you'd have is you get that dog and then it runs out in the street and gets run over. You gotta get an insurance policy on that.
I always wondered why everyone cried when their dog. We used to just get stray dogs when we were kids. I was always wondering why these guys were so pissed. I was like, don't worry, another one will come by this township. Another dog will come by every now and again.
Nice. Hey, we're getting more comments than we usually do, and we're not even talking about wrestling.
Yeah, everyone's experienced, bringing home a stray dog, man.
Yeah. No, it's I'm at least done. I think I got one more maybe little thing I gotta go grab tomorrow, but Christmas time's here, and that means there's wrestling. Lots of good wrestling this weekend. Not 90% of the state is wrestling in 3 tournaments. But
yeah,
let's talk about last week. There's some good events going on. Why is that always like that? Where am I going? Really, any duels that stuck out? I'm looking through them right now to see what.
I did the Maryville Chesterton duel for the region, which was pretty cool. Really good match at 220. Evan Bates and Jason Streck. Really, really good match. I don't know if everyone went back and watched it. Chris Walton had made 82. So I think just getting good matches. Streck was at 220. I don't know if he's going to stay at 220. I think he's a little on the lighter side. But Bates went up and wrestled him. It ended up being a takedown match right at the end. It was pretty good.
Nice. Oh, geez. Yeah, we'll be talking about 182 in a little bit, but yeah. We had the Garrett Carroll match, the as Dane calls it, the Y2CJ41 Super Bowl.
I heard you got booed there, man.
Oh yes, I got heckled because I was questioning the score. They must employ basketball people trying to do the score, and they screwed up the score. So I had to get it corrected, and it didn't help that our guy might have been a little tired at that point. So they were thinking I was trying to get him, a long time out.
Oh.
I've been.
Oh, you're one of those guys.
Oh yeah. And
we don't like to say that a gas call. That's like more get your composure.
Yeah. Yes.
That's DC. Hey, gather your composure. We're gonna go make sure that he didn't go out of bounds here when it's an obvious call. No,
yeah.
I didn't see the match.
Yeah. No, they actually forgot an escape because their guy was cutting us and taking us down and trying to turn us, and then someone yelled. That's stalling on the coach. That's stalling on the coach. I just laughed, and found out that there was someone. Obviously, if it's a Garrett person, it's highly likely that I would know them, but it was a former neighbor of mine. So, so they gave me
and sagging at the same time.
What do you say?
Someone said you got heckled because your pants were tight and short. So you were flooding and sagging at the same time.
I don't know. But they heckled me, but I was right. And then on top of that, there's like 20 seconds to go, and our kid took their guy down like twice in like 20 seconds. All of a sudden, he got a burst of energy. So that didn't help things at all. But it was fun to be back there. It was a good duel, big crowd. One of the biggest crowds I've seen there. I know there was a big duel about 15 years ago there, but I remember it was a pretty big crowd. But it's good for the sport, good for Garrett to have a big crowd. There's a lot of Carroll people there. There's a lot of Garrett people, and nice little. It's always good to have some, a lot more people coming to see the sport. So that's always good.
Both pretty good programs out of Fort Wayne, man. You guys both do a really good job.
Yeah.
Carroll done a really good job, and then obviously Garrett's doing an amazing job. I know that they were struggling to get in that 2A championship for a while. I remember one time having a conversation about how the breakdown on the streets of Indy. When I was less than articulate, I would say. Trying to break it down. I hardly know. I mean, obviously, Adrian has such a good system to get that going. I mean, I haven't always agreed with it. Those guys, Poppy and Kraus, did not agree with it that year, I don't believe.
Oh, no, they're not. Poppy especially doesn't shy away from his opinion.
I would say
that's the Michigan in him. That's why he's from Michigan, so he's a little slower. He doesn't, understand diplomatic processes, things like that.
I would say I have no coaching obligations, no ties to anything. So if you see me like at 3 a.m. in Indy, there's a good chance I'm probably not going to give you the best answers.
So,
thanks, Morgan. I guess out of the next one, someone already asked, but Penn Mishawaka, great finish. I don't know if it's like a great finish. Like it's an interesting finish. I've never seen that. I've never seen that finish. To end the match. I know Mishawaka's been putting a lot of work, and I know Penn's been really good. I got offered to go down there and do some live video with those guys. I was waiting for Region. I thought I sent a message back to Chad, and I didn't get one out. And then he called me out on the board, and I was like, "What?"
Yeah, sometimes that send button doesn't work, but no, that was a crazy finish. It's a great one. I mean, it's a Michigan's Ohio State type rivalry there. I don't think there's much love lost, and I know even Papa Sandifer is always saying, the alumni judge your program by one thing: did you beat Penn? And they don't care what sport, anything. That makes their season, whether it's good or bad, and so that's always that was good for them. I think Penn's won nine straight, I think is what they were saying. So that was crazy. They're down by, they needed 4 pins in the last 4 matches, and they were down by like 20 or something. So they needed to do it. So that was a very interesting result, and I know that video has kind of gone viral because I was tagged in it, and I'm still getting notifications of people retweeting it, liking it, and doing all that, commenting. So there's been I've really never been involved in a really viral thing, and that's kind of, Reese Humphrey and a couple other, like Bryce Meredith, I think, were commenting on it. So it's always good to see, hopefully it's good for wrestling that people are getting that kind of, that it's getting out there, and great celebration and just crazy finish. You can't draw that up, and so those are the two big duels. Obviously the Gary Carroll match wasn't that big. I was only because I was there.
Nah, that's cool. Like, those are, you guys are at Team State. They're at Team State, different classes. That's a big one. I didn't get to see all of them. I don't have it in front of me. Let's see what else. Was there any other big duels this week?
I don't see any offhand from what but we had a lot of good super duels action. There were, let's see, very interesting match. Carroll had our own super duel, and I know Belmont and Garrett and Jay County, all three are 2A schools. They all three wrestled each other. Belmont beat Garrett, and Belmont and Garrett both beat Jay County. There's a kind of watching the Belmont Garrett match at the end. Got to catch a few of the matches because we were done a little earlier. Really good match. The score got a little out of hand towards the end, but I think it's a lot different. And we'll talk about this next week when we're doing the bracket reveal. 2A is a very interesting. 2A is always interesting because it comes down to a lot of matchups and who has a sneaky good JV guy that they can move some guys around. And Belmont match up very well against Garrett. Just looking at where Belmont's strong, where Belmont was weak, they're a little bit stronger in certain areas. So it's a very interesting matchup, and I think even like that 2A Western's pretty solid in certain areas. So that's going to be interesting how they match up with a Belmont or an Oak Hill or in Garrett. I think all of those four are pretty much the top 4 2A teams, but it's going to be interesting to see how that all shakes out. I know like Eastside was there. Eastside and Garrett wrestled basically for NACC championship, and they blew away Eastside, but Eastside had a couple close ones. They actually lost a different one, but it's very interesting how matchups. I think Eastside's actually pretty solid. They have some pretty decent guys. They got to get one of their big guys down to weight, but it's about matchups, and if you match up well, you can really blow a team out. But we also had the Henry Wilk Classic. Mishawaka went undefeated. I do not know who else went undefeated there. Did Penn or Zionsville? Zionsville probably did.
Yeah, I think. Isn't that crazy that those guys were like almost had it back to back, right? I think they do probably a good job of not matching up.
Yeah, they pick like 5 teams they want to wrestle, and that's what kind of we do at Carroll. There's certain matchups you have to have. I know there's some like the Garrett and Cherubusco and Eastside, they all have to wrestle for conference matches, so then you want to match those up. I know like we see Belmont and Garrett, so we're not going to see them there. We're going to see the other teams. I know like Belmont wrestles East Noble and us, so they're not going to wrestle us. So it's kind of, you want to get those matchups. So, I don't want to see the same teams over and over, and neither does anyone else. So it's always good to see some different competition. Oh, Mishawaka was the only undefeated, I guess. So yeah, I didn't know that because I saw the results.
Looked like I saw Hobart had a pretty good super duel. They had Lake Central there, Chesterton there. I seen Coach Cook post it. Chesterton got after him, man. Chesterton's good. They're really good. I seen Riley Bedich, Mr. Bedich. And we'll get to the Carnahan said Crown Point's unstoppable. That Crown Point Chesterton duel was pretty close.
Yeah.
It came down essentially like one match. Like if that 26 match in overtime flipped the other way, then Chesterton, maybe they're saying they're unstoppable.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
And I would say probably one of Chesterton's best incoming guys is wrestling in Mount Carmel, and he just won the Dvorak. So I'm willing to bet if they had that kid in the lineup, they'd be a lot more unstoppable.
Yeah. Nope. Yes, nope. I guess I don't know who did Zionsville lose to, because I know Zionsville has a pretty solid team. I'm just looking that up right now. We are very prepared once again. We've spent time. I
like a lot of these guys, everyone's doing the same thing. Everyone, it's holiday season. You know, they're thinking about what kind of Christmas booze they're gonna make. You know.
Yes. Let's see. Let's see. I got that topic up. Luckily, we have this internet, and it's semi-fast. Let's see.
They yeah, Mecos Luce. Yeah. How about? I mean, not to like go into Illinois too much, but Sergio Lemley going out there winning the Dvorak as a freshman, beating the returning Illinois State champ in the final.
Ooh, nice.
That kid's pretty good. I mean, we got to see him at the Indiana mat. That kid's really, really good. I think. There's a bunch of Indiana kids that did well for Mount Carmel, but man, like some of those kids, you know, they'd filter in. They would be pretty good in Indiana lineups.
Yes.
Including like nationally ranked Colton Drusis, guys like that.
Okay.
That's the excuse I make when people are like, man, the region's down. I'd be like, well, you know, they're over winning Illinois titles too. And a couple years ago, we had 2 kids winning Michigan or Minnesota State titles too.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, Zionsville lost to. Where'd it go? I just had it. They lost to Jimtown. Interesting.
Chile, man, it's gonna be interesting.
Jimtown beat them.
Eric McCann's on it, man, 40-30.
That's interesting.
Noah Miss also from Griffith won.
Yeah, and they lost to Springboro. Huh. And Mishawaka. I wonder what they had there, because they obviously are. And Penn. They must have had a few guys out. I'm just going to take a wild guess, because they're pretty solid. They lost to Penn. Yeah, they lost 3 times. They lost to Penn, Mishawaka.
I don't think Wagner wrestled, did he? I didn't see Wagner in some of the results.
Springboro and Jimtown. So I'm going to guess they might have had a few guys out. I don't know. I mean, because we wrestled them. They're pretty solid. I kind of anticipated they'd be undefeated. Anyway, that was the Penn Henry Rolt Classic. Henry even refs his own the tournament named after him. That's pretty cool.
Does he?
Yeah, he is.
Kind of cool.
Yeah. Not really.
Jeffersonville had their big thing.
Oh yes.
That was a little bit down this year. I mean, just kind of looking at some of the results.
Yep.
You kind of go across. Usually you have some top ranked guys in there, some state ranked guys, and I didn't see a ton of state ranked matchups.
I think they've lost. I mean, I know Bloomington South used to go there. There's some better teams that I don't know why they weren't there, but they did not go. I want to say Floyd Central's been there in the past, but had a couple good heavyweight match. You had Matt Munoz beat Robbie Gentry. That was probably one of the bigger results out of that event.
Couple guys state finals.
Yep. That's going to be a match you might see at semi-state. Could be a ticker on match there, especially since Gentry has keys in his regional. So that was at the Indianapolis City tournament. We had Cathedral versus the World. Cathedral ran away with that.
Man, how crazy is that? Because Marion County is the same day.
Yeah.
You have like all of Indianapolis is in Marion County, right? Like all those guys are just kind of holding out.
They don't want to be in the city, so they call them they thumb their noses at the city. So they said, well, we're gonna have a county tournament. But yeah, that's something that's weird because it's kind of more down south where they have the county tournaments. I know there's the Madison County tournament was this weekend. A couple other county tournaments are popping up everywhere. So, and then the big one is the Marion County tournament. I'm pulling up the results there. Warren Central won that. A lot of good matches. A lot of guys I know. Howie got the rankings out. Sent them to me yesterday. I just didn't get them posted till today.
Man, Howie's on it, right? Like, what a guy, man. It's Christmas season. That guy's got kids. He's out here cranking out rankings. I'm going to get these state rankings a little bit more messy. We're going to get them up. I'm going to get these semi-state rankings out. I got to keep pace with Howie.
Yeah, he sets the standard. So, you had some good matches. Just kind of going over them. Carlton Perry over Antonio Jefferson. Cody Glithero was third at 120. Pretty good matches there. Braden Lowry was a 4-time county champion, which is I want to say someone I read where he's like the 3rd or 4th ever, which that's pretty impressive. Obviously, Lowry's a pretty good
David
wrestler.
Pearson 1-0.
Yes, he did not get headlocked.
There's a lot of matches I'm willing to bet that David Pearson does not wrestle 1-0.
Yeah. Connor Alcala of Decatur Central beat Sam Slivka. That was a pretty solid win. Alcala's.
I think he beat Diesel Duncan also in the semis. So
The Diesel. He's not gonna rust. He doesn't run on regular. Javion Ross over Sebastian Bryant.
Luke Goodwin.
Yeah.
Also lost there. Luke Goodwin had beat Javion Ross early on this year.
Yeah. Bryce Coleman over Tice Freegee majored him. That's pretty.
Bryce Coleman's really good.
Yeah, and I mean he's ranked number one, and a lot of people without much, I guess, that you can look at, like in our little our table, you can see what they've done in their careers, and he hasn't made the state, and he's over state placers and stuff, and there's a reason why we have Coleman ranked number one. That's a good win for him. I mean, that's Freegee's no joke, and he majoring someone like that's pretty good indicator that he's going to do pretty well. Dante Atkins, Indianapolis Lutheran with a champion.
Baker, Indianapolis Lutheran, yeah.
Yeah. Damon McLean over Jajon Dale. Aiden Warren over Hayden Flipovich. Indianapolis Lutheran were 2 in the finals. Flipovich had like 1 or 2 losses last year. Pretty tough. Him and Warren 11-7. So that's and Warren's not shy about scoring points, lots of points. And Bradley Harrington, Gavin Kesey. That's a pretty solid weight class top to bottom there. Let's see. And then
Deshaun Young over Alex Hernandez 3-2. Cameron Bacon or Brown also in that weight. Deshaun Young with a big win during the week over. Also Keys with a big win over Antoine. Did he wrestle Antoine Alexander?
Yes, he did.
Franklin Central, yeah.
Yeah.
2 big overtime match between Deshaun Young and Leighton Jones. 2 big matches there.
Yeah. Franklin Central has some pretty good big guys there, definitely. But overall, team race, you have Warren Central over Perry. Warren won by about 38.5 points or so. So that's pretty big margin. Roncalli was 3rd, a little bit ways back there. Then Franklin Central and Southport round out the top 5. Always a good tournament there. I mean, there's a lot of solid teams there that are vying for spots, and it's always a good indicator, especially for the for Howie. That's probably, you have that in the city. Obviously, the city, it's just the cathedral versus the world, but you get some of those city kids that you kind of get a good gauge of where they are when they wrestle the cathedral guys. So you can kind of
sleeping on the Richmond Regional. Okay.
Yeah. So, those were the bigger tournaments.
The big one up by us, man. And I was gonna cover it, but we had my daughter was playing softball. Was the Carnahan? Brownsburg came up. A lot of ranked matchups. Some guys out. Cody Goodwin was out at 38, so we didn't get to see him and Drake Campbell. Greg Glover, I think he missed weight at 170. I mean, I would assume that he would be a pretty bigger 170. Wrestled 82 last year. So Crown Point pulled out the team win in a tight team score.
Yeah, they won by
118, 318, 112, 312.
Yeah, they won by 6 points. So if you put in the math of Brownsburg having Glover, and then the backup for Crown Point at 38 got 3rd, so you're only going to get, let's see, where is he at? 38. It was Tatini. I mean, you got Nick Tatini, who's not too bad. You're going to get maybe about 10 more points out of him. Glover's going to probably be able to make it lean towards Brownsburg a little bit. Depends on how many bonus he gets. So that's, it's the if, ands, and buts, and all that fun stuff.
That day, Crown Point obviously took care of business. A lot of good matches. I know we were talking about it a little bit. There's an un-IHSA school there that we want to see at the team state.
Fairhaven Baptist.
Man, those dudes are just cranking.
Fairhaven
those
Christian.
Fairhaven Christian. I was sending some messages, through the day, just like, man, they're beating some pretty solid guys.
Yes. Yeah, they finished third, right? Is that what it
Yeah,
said?
third ahead of Marion, ahead of Attica, Benton Central. Fairhaven Christian is in Chesterton,
Yes.
or
We
I guess, or one of those two. It's like right by the Dunes National Park.
Yes, we want them in the IHSA tournament. I don't know if anyone that goes there listens, watches, whatever. We want you guys in the tournament. That's all I'm gonna say. I want to see this. I
Yeah,
mean,
man,
they had a couple. They had a couple finalists.
yeah. One dude took Jordan Douglas to the wire.
Yeah,
Jordan Douglas, semi-state champ.
yeah, 4-3.
Yeah.
And
So
yeah,
I mean, just kind of going down. We had a 1-3. Logan Miller, Sam Goin. Logan Miller came out on top. So really, really good adjustments. 'Cause I think, and I think I know. I don't know why I'm playing coy. So at Folkstyle State last year, when Sam was an 8th grader, he pinned Logan after Logan had medaled, and then at Indiana Matt, Logan was winning. Sam stormed back and beat him in overtime. So getting the reversal late, I was just watching the broadcast before we went on. But man, that was a really good one. That's one we could see under the lights. I mean, going getting some really tough matches the last couple of weeks with Chun-Di, and they went into Illinois. He had a couple of really tough ones. Tough one with Logan Miller. So
yeah,
Frazier looked really good. Major at 13 over Haynes. I think probably held the rankings a little bit better. Bedich and Diaz overtime ultimate tiebreaker. Watched a little bit of that match. Back and forth. Early, like fleeing the mat, pushing Riley off the mat. They gave Diaz or Riley a point there, and then a stall call at like no time left. Basically tied it, went to overtime.
Oh,
They did a little
jeez.
best man win action. So, I mean, honestly, I think it should have been like a 1-1, probably going to overtime. But I mean, it changes the complexion of the match. Gavin Garcia's in there also. He had a good one. Roberson over Montgomery. I went back and watched that. Really good match, 5-1, 3-1, short time, and Montgomery went for like an inside trip, got taken down. But that's a huge win for Roberson. You know, probably the best he's looked this year that I've seen him. The stuff that we've seen, you know, he just looks like he's getting in a little bit better shape. Maybe he was dealing with some sickness early on, but he looked good.
Yeah, that's probably one of the bigger upsets of the. I mean, not that it should be really considered a huge upset, but obviously Roberson's jumping up from 106. Kyson's a 2-time placer, so he's been there. So that's a little bit of a surprise there.
Yeah.
And Kyson's always been pretty consistent. I know. I mean, even as a freshman, you know what you're gonna get with Kyson. And I'm sure it'll be the Bulldogs, the Browns, the Southern Bulldogs will be all right. I mean, they'll learn from it. They always get those kids moving at the right time.
Senior got the Lord up. I like it, man. That's the inside thing, man. I'll leave those for region broadcasts. That's inside information. I mean, Mendez doing Mendez things, man. Just going to the field. I think like one of the things I like about Jesse is like he's always going forward. I feel like he's always trying to wrestle. Like there's been guys that we've had been number one, and they're okay winning like a 3-1, 5-1. I feel like he's always trying to score points and get falls, put on some highlight stuff, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, Olive Garden mints, if anyone's asking, they're pretty good. I don't even know if you guys got Olive Gardens out in Fort Wayne, Joe, but if you do, they got these delicious dinner mints.
Yes, we do have an Olive Garden. Don't usually go there very often, but because I'm a real Italian, and that's not like real Italian.
My mom cooks there, man. You said my mom's not real Italian?
I don't think it's not Risini. Risino.
I don't know if I appreciate that. So, 38. Also, they're giving some hate to my guy Larry Babcock on the broadcast in this comment. Said he was being a terrible official. And I don't know what he could have been terrible in a minute 43 at 132.
Didn't call it quick enough?
I don't know. Someone said he was being a terrible official. I seen him Sunday. I went to go watch kids tournament. Also, shout out to Hobart, man. Those dudes, shout out to all the officials. They're out there grinding, man. This is a long week. I didn't know you guys were doubling up on the weekends like that.
Yeah.
All the coaches and like high school officials out there.
Oh yeah, there's no days off, especially this time of year. The coaches and the officials are just yelling at each other on like six out of 7 days. You get used to seeing their officials after a while. It's like, hey, I'm kind of tired of seeing you guys.
Spikes. It was Spikes that said it. Spikes said all day.
Nice.
He stands by his comment.
Nice.
Jordan Douglas, Josiah Wright, Fairhaven. Jordan Douglas had a tight win with Cookery in the semis also. But man, Fairhaven taking him to the wire, semi-state champ. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that guy, obviously, I mean, you're going to say that guy's a state-level guy. I mean, if he's wrestling with a two-time state qualifier, Douglas, who has lost like 3 matches in the last 2 years. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to do a little. I'm sure if I put this guy's name into track wrestling, we're not going to get much, but maybe we will. Maybe we'll find like going to Fargo and like a 3-time Fargo placer or something.
So Bobby Joe told me back in the day. I don't remember. Obviously, me and Bobby Joe wrestled, ISW at the same time. He said Fairhaven used to bring buses of kids to tournaments.
Nice.
They have their own bus, and they used to bring buses of kids. But I do not remember that. I don't remember ever wrestling a Fairhaven kid my entire life.
Well, you probably didn't know it.
But yeah. I mean, even at 60, so kind of I'm gonna work back. So Gideon Ramos from Fairhaven, who's 14-2, majored Ryan Breedlove from Hanover Central, who was the Harvest Classic champ, and then Dinger, man, of Crown Point with a huge win over Asbury. So that's a huge match because Asbury returning medalist, Dinger returning qualifier. And I think that's a dangerous guy, man. That's a guy that I don't think he's been wrestling a ton. I know he's been wrestling, through high school. I don't know how much experience he had before that, but I think he's really just starting to come into his own. Like, that's a guy, when he figures it out, it's going to be really dangerous because he's big and he's strong and he's fast. And he's, like, kind of awkward to wrestle.
Yeah. No, I can't find too much on Josiah Wright, but come on.
You got to check the Christian database.
Yeah. There's not much, so I think we're going to need to, here's our petition. We got to sign a petition. Might as well start a Twitter poll or something. Should Fairhaven be in the, how can we get Fairhaven in there? That's all I want to know.
I know, man. I'm telling you. Like, even let's just give them like a rat tail in, man. Let's get them in there.
Yeah. Obviously, the guys can compete. It's, Carnahan has 2 state-ranked teams, and then you have some pretty solid teams. Attica's at Team State 1A, and I'm going to guess that Fairhaven's a really small school. They'd be at Team State. They'd be a Team State participant.
I know.
I want to know what come on, guys.
And Attica has some dudes that are in there.
Yeah.
They have 4 guys that are really good in their lineup.
Yeah.
Brett Smith, give us the download, man. They're at the War on the Wabash. How'd they do against the Prairie Heights?
Prairie Heights isn't there anymore. They dropped that a couple years ago. Yeah, but
so they're still bringing buses, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
That's good though, man. I'm happy for those guys.
Yep.
170, Crown Point got a big win there. Really, Nick Taborski, 9-7, just probably went over 500 at that tournament. Like, you really needed him to like he was probably. Dinger and Roberson did a good job, and those guys could be the MVP. Like, you expect your guys to go out and win. The guys that hold their rank, but guys that are wrestling over their rank. But Taborski going out there and getting a big win really helped. Seal the match. And obviously, having Glover there, who's a tick arounder at 82, moving down a weight. But I seen the back and forth on the board, which is good, between the NWI. Was it NWI Insider? NW Wrestling Insider?
Yeah.
We know who all the people are because everyone knows.
We're watching.
But
it's big
he's right. You have to make weight, man. And if you don't make, that's part of it, man. That's part of the sport, is just making weight.
Yeah. So that's. It's one of those things that like for rankings purposes, do you figure that in? That's why as team rankings, they're a little bit harder because you got to figure out. You got to do matchups and stuff. I know, like national rankings. Crown Point, when they beat DeKalb last week. DeKalb had a couple guys out. Thus, it's kind of national ranking wise. They didn't have a Fargo champ out in there and another state placer. That obviously that's gonna make a difference. So it's one of those things that you never know rankings wise. It's just what it is. So
Are you asking for my rankings? Am I
no,
gonna,
I'm just saying,
grade
general.
order?
I mean, I know going back and forth with a national ranker, I was like, so they're, Crown Point was all, they were excited, which they should, beating a good DeKalb team like that is always good. It's just one of those things that they're not gonna. I think they probably gonna sneak in the rankings this week. I'm pretty positive, or whenever the next big update is. But yeah, it's one of those things that you gotta. As someone that does, the team rankings, it's are they at full strength? Do they have everyone down to weight? What's it? I don't want to do. I don't want to try to match up 14 guys from Indiana versus 14 guys from Wyoming or California or wherever when you can't even link anything. So good luck to anyone that does that. So
Mecco Sluche, man, you were throwing shade on my fantasy football win. Said I barely got in.
Ooh, man, this is gonna get ugly tonight.
But he's right, man.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can only wrestle who they put out there, man.
Yep. Exactly.
If they don't show up, then that's on them, man.
Yeah.
You showed up. That's number one. They used to have this Eric Thomas thing about Cam Newton. The first thing is you got to show up. It's easy to not show up. It's easy to not go to practice. It's easy not to do whatever. It's easy not to pay bills and sleep in.
Yeah.
But it's hard to get up and grind, man. And I'm not throwing shade at Crown Point. They went out and did their thing, man. They went and sought those matches and they took care of business.
Yeah.
If DeKalb was at home saying, "Well, we didn't have Fargo Champ in there," okay, why?
Yeah.
He has sicky belly. I'm sure Crown Point that guy's ever sick.
Yeah. No, that's one of those things that it's always hard to, you can only, like you said, you can only wrestle who's out there. You can't. I mean, you can't control what they're doing. You can control what you're doing. That's the old. I know some of the teams earlier in the season when they're throwing out, football players are out of their lineup or they're in the lineup but they've only had a handful of practices. It's hard to judge them fully when other teams have been practicing since the first week because their football team sucks. Things like that. Or kids aren't down to weight because, well, I mean, I'm sorry. You only do what you can do, and so Crown Point's obviously finished ahead of two in a tournament and in a duel, beating two ranked teams. So I think they're going to sneak in the rankings. They've obviously shown that they're capable. It's a matter of, I don't know. It's one of those things that you'd like to see all the. I'd love to have the big national dual tournament or whatever. That'd be neat to see them in those events. But obviously we can't travel, so that sucks.
Yeah, that's stupid. We talked about that last week during our Festivus week. Even though today's Festivus, we talked about that our last Festivus show.
Yes, go back to episode 75. I think that's what it is, and you can go talk about that.
82. Brownsburg, I would be willing to bet he got over 500 there.
Yeah.
Jamon Spiller.
Yep, he's probably started 500, and I mean that's Crown Point guy with the losing record ends up being third. That's huge for them. Obviously, you're looking at how do they score points, how do they get their guys, how they beat them.
Calling my dude out. No one wants people to know they're eating Arby's. You eat Arby's on the down low. It's like White Castles. You eat it with shame.
Wow.
Big win for Attica. A lot of people telling me he looked really good. I thought he would look good. He lost first round semi-state last year. He's a really tall, red-haired kid from Attica, Jack Harrigan. Beat Matt McElroy. I think he beat Isaiah Street, too. I know who had a good summer. So, Leighton Jones. Someone told me Leighton Jones was going to struggle at 220. He's a freshman, and, he's going to, take some time. That's a big kid, man. That kid is huge.
Yeah. Yeah, he is. Yeah, we saw the picture last week of him and Snyder, and Snyder's not a small fella, and he makes Snyder look like a very small fella. Not that Snyder's a big guy, but he's not small, and he's like a foot taller than him, and yeah. And Levi Lee, that is, I believe, Victor Lee's brother that he wrestled in the finals, so it's someone we probably should keep an eye out in the Fort Wayne area. Marion, is a team you got to watch out for sometimes.
Yeah.
And then, Dorian Keys.
Dorian
I don't
Keys.
know why there was a forfeit. I assume Dorian scared him. So
I think there was a forfeit in the semifinal too. I'm sure we'll get the explanation here in 2 seconds. I'm gonna tell you, I'm a little disappointed right now. Mekos Luka is ruining my Christmas. Not only did he rain on my fantasy football quarterfinal and semifinal. We're not gonna talk about the championship that's happening right now. But he also said we were also telling trash and going into Arby's. Now he's telling me he's not even had the Arby's or the Popeyes chicken sandwich.
Jeez, man.
Man, people are out here dying for this sandwich, and he's not even trying it.
Yes.
I'm about to pull his hood card, man. I thought we were there.
I haven't had the sandwich, but there aren't many Popeyes in this area. There's actually one coming up pretty close to me. They're building it, so I'll be there. And we just had a Portillo's. I'd rather have some Portillo's. So,
I don't know how they're Robinson. I think that that Popeyes chicken sandwich is a little bit juicy. You gotta get the spicy with the spicy aioli. Great pickle. It's pretty good. If you don't like pickles, you're probably not gonna like it.
nice.
If you don't like Popeyes, that means I know that you ain't never been in the hood.
you haven't grown up on the mean streets in Calumet. But you didn't have Heine's. Hey, what are you talking about?
That,
You've never had Heine's.
you know what? I actually caught a little grief for that. The Maldonados were unhappy with that.
Oh! No wonder the Maldonados like me more than you now.
Man, Danny Bell, no way. Danny Bell's about to lose his card right now. That's a real Hobart response.
Oh, the classy Hobart response. Ooh, Chick-fil-A. We have Chick-fil-A on Sundays in Hobart because we're so possible.
You know what? I know why this is happening right now. They don't got a Popeyes in Crown Point. They don't got a Popeyes in Hobart. The only Popeyes they got in Portage, which is close to Hobart, it's in a gas station. It's a little tougher. It's in a truck stop. I get it, man.
Yeah. So, any other...
Next time I hear you guys, I'm not Lon John Silver's, and I'm going to be real upset. If you ain't never ordered extra crumbs, man, how you living?
Wow. Is Long John Silver's even around anymore?
Hey, man, there's one right across the street on Ridge Road.
So there is one. It's like Rax. It's like Rax. There's one of them left. Rax and Blockbuster and Long John Silver's. There's one each left.
If you've never had a 2-plank.
Jeez. Nice.
I took my daughter there one time, my youngest daughter.
I'm sure
yeah.
Has she not forgiven you since?
She walked in and she said, "What are we gonna get?" I said, "Man, we're about to get Lon John Silver's. This take me back to my youth." And she said, "Why are the floors so slippery?"
Nice.
The Popeyes and no, there's a yeah, they do have a Lon John Silver's in Lake Station too.
So, little off topic there.
Yeah.
Any other events from this past week? There's a lot of stuff going on, some solid events. But I think that kind of
sees it. Gotta have a Rent-A-Center, man.
What? A Rent-A-Center?
You never had a Rent-A-Center? Man, Joe, I'm learning a lot of stuff about you this Christmas Eve.
I've never been in a Rent-A-Center, I do not believe.
How are you going to weekly pay for a TV, bro?
Never had to, I guess. Been living the high life in G-Town. Garrett's classy area. Garrett's the Carmel, Fort Wayne.
Hey, we're getting a lot of region stuff going on right now, and you're going to see how the other side's living. The southern north. Joe Hansen said they turned his Rent-A-Center into a plasma donation. That's true, $50.
Jeez. Is that how you pay for your TV? You donate plasma so you can watch your TV? So yeah.
I'll come get that thing, man. That's a weekly payment. I'm not using Rent-A-Center, but if I was.
Oh, goodness. Oh, so there's some wrestling going on this week, a lot of it. There are 3 duels tonight. There are actually 3 duels going on tonight. People, I do not like Monday duels. I do not schedule them. There are 3 duels and right before Christmas, so I guess you might as well get them in. Crawford County at Borden. Borden's a brand new program, actually.
Wolfpack, man.
Yeah, the Wolfpack Nation. Woof. Where's going to do my Wolfpack. So the Southwood at Cass. Fort Wayne Semi-State Peru Regional, and then Fort Wayne at Concordia.
It's you guys, man. It sounds like Fort Wayne's doing the savagery.
Yes, yes. Yeah. So
Is this the Al Smith preview show that we're getting off topic on?
yes, we are.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
We'll save that for last. Let's see. But we'll go over that. I got the number. I have the ranking guys, all the rankings there, Mikos. Don't worry. I have everything all sorted out. I have a nice little spreadsheet. North Montgomery Holiday Tournament. That's a very interesting one because they wrestle duels on the first day, and then they wrestle tournaments, and they seed it. That should be a good one. Hamilton Southeastern, Huntington North has some good kids. Leo has a few guys. They're pretty good. Mount Vernon will be there. Noblesville, North Central.
It used to be a banger, man.
Yeah, it used to be a real good tournament. North
We
Mont.
went there all 4 years we were there, man. It was tough.
Warren Central and Western and West Vigo. So that's a pretty solid tournament, top to bottom. I'm sure. I know Dane's probably gonna be looking at that for some team state stuff. Should be some. It's really interesting how they've changed it up and definitely made it a little bit more interesting. Got the Eastern Comet duels. Let's see, the Giant
Is that
Invite.
at Caston?
Pardon?
Is that at Caston? Or is that Easton?
Eastern Greentown. The Frankfurt Invite, Michigan City. And someone was asking who is there. From what I have, East Chicago Central, John Glenn, LaVille, Michigan City, River Forest, the Ingots, and the West Centrals. Those are the big ones there. Might as well go from the smallest to the biggest, I guess, as far as we got the East Central Indiana Classic. If you're going to go there, be aware of the Patriot. He was behind me last week. He does do shadow wrestling on the mat the night before, from what I've heard. Good sources that the security cameras have shown that. So that's always a good.
It's gonna give me an now.
Yeah, that's always a good small school. A lot of smaller schools in East Central they always have some solid wrestling there. We'll go the Connorsville Classic first. I have a nice little spreadsheet. It's a little bit down this year. I mean, I know that's no big surprise. There's only 15 state ranked guys, 32 semi-state ranked guys. So obviously some of those guys, or most of them, are there.
Do you think that's like a product of just teams trying to get into like Al Smith, Mooresville? I know when they try to change the scheduling thing, some of the guys went to Brecksville. They left there, or no, they didn't leave there for Brecksville, but they won some other things. But now it's a little bit down, or you think it's just down because they don't give brackets and there's no internet Wi-Fi there?
I'd say a little bit of just teams. I don't say it's poorly ran, but it's ran on formats, and it's a long 2 days of wrestling. I know.
Blind draw too, right?
Yeah, there's not much close by to stay at hotels. I mean, we stayed 45 minutes away the one year I went, and that's. I mean. We drove 2.5 hours to stay 45 minutes away, and it's not bad for the local teams, but it's just one of those things that I'm sure teams are going to say, well, I'll go to Mooresville. That place, that area is a lot easier to find hotels, a little bit better easier to get to. Ran
and then they can get Gray's cafeteria the next day, right?
Yeah.
Been on drive-ins and dives.
Yes. The best weight classes, let me go back, we have, 195 has 3 ranked guys, that's the only one with 3, and we have...
and they have the number 1 ranked guy.
Yeah, you got 1 versus 4, Allred and JD. Oh, I'd say also the non-seeding thing kind of irks people. That just is one of those things that doesn't look good for everybody. But 195, Silas Allred, JD Farrell, Blaine Pierce from Richmond, who's ranked 11th. You got Kyler Funk, Fort Wayne semi-state ranked number 1. He's a state qualifier 2 years ago. Richard Clevenger just cracked their rankings from New Pal in semi-state there. The other weight classes, you got Cooper Norrie and Jed Perry. Perry went to Disney with the Superchargers this year. He's pretty tough. I like to. He's fun to watch wrestle, and he will pin guys. He pinned some guys that look like they were about 50 pounds heavier than him. He has some farm boy strength. 45, you have Will Fechter and AJ Poindexter. That should be a good one. Two guys are state qualifiers. You got Danville's there, Logan Bowe. I'm trying to find the ones with 2 ranked guys. Christian White, Sam Hine.
Is Vapo still there too?
Yes, they are. I don't see who they have ranked, but yes.
82, Colin Kwiatkowski.
Yeah, he's the only, and you got Nick Holt from Columbus North, who's semi-state ranked there. There's
He'll
actually
the next day. He's been really good.
Yeah, there's actually one weight class where there's no semi-state or state ranked guy there, which is very not good for having 32 teams there. So that's
what weight class?
132.
Make a splash, man.
Yep. And so it's going to be very interesting, see how the rankings shake out after this. How big, winning a tournament with literally 10% of the teams in the state isn't bad, but you got to look and see who you beat. Definitely a little bit down, and hopefully they can get use the internets and get a little bit better. It's not like it's poorly ran. It's long. I mean, you run on 4 mats. Yeah. That's a lot of matches to run on 4 mats, and I know I know what we would do. They run the 2 championship rounds, and then if you win your first 2 matches, you're done till tomorrow. So we'd literally take a bus of the 5 to 10 guys, whatever it was, that won those first 2 matches, just get them out of the arena, because then there's running 2 or 3 rounds of consolations, and why have those guys sitting in the arena, on those hard bleachers while they can go to the hotel, cut any weight they need to do, relax, watch some TV, So that was kind of it's one of those things that's kind of hard to do. Al Smith, everything's run together. There's no reason to send guys back early, things like that. So, it's I guess what it is right now.
They lost some teams to Al Smith, right? Like you guys went there. Cathedral was there before they went to Al Smith.
Yeah.
They lost Carmel. I don't know where Carmel's at now, but they lost Carmel.
Carmel is going to Mooresville, from what I've seen.
Roncalli. They lost Roncalli.
Yeah.
Plus some heavy hitters to lose over the last couple of years.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And Brownsburg was there. I mean, you look at some of the teams that were there that have been in there the last 6-7 years, and I mean, wow, it was pretty good. So that's a little bit down team-wise. It's gonna be very interesting. I'm probably gonna say, let's see, nope, that's Connorsville. Connorsville will have, Fishers is state ranked. I think they're Fishers, Harrison, West Lafayette. Those 2 are the teams that'll, be in the mix there. New Pal has some solid guys.
Pretty good, man.
Yeah. So we'll move on. Mooresville, the Mooresville Classic. There's about 24 teams there. I only have some of them. Got 28 ranked guys, 48 semi-state ranked guys. The big guys are the weights where they have the most ranked guys. Heavyweight, you got Anton Alexander, Robert Gentry. I guess actually only 3 there because Alan Hare is not wrestling this year. And then Big John Williams.
Not wrestling. He's out.
Big John Williams from Carmel there. So you got 3 state ranked guys there. At 220, you got 4. You got Haken van Bynen. I love that name. Josh Howell, who's a state qualifier last year. Deshaun Young and Micah Dodson. That's going to be another good one. Let's see. You got 3 ranked guys at 45. Jeff Danaski, Jake Schaefer, Justice Cash. Kind of be a good measuring stick. For a couple of those guys. See where they're at. Payne Blackburn, Cameron Allen, Joey Langeman at 126. Brack Hooper.
And they got the brackets up too.
They do? Huh?
Yeah.
Nice. I didn't even notice that. Brack Hooper, Dylan Driver, and Logan Sutton at 113. So pretty solid tournament there. Yeah, Carmel there is probably one of the favorites. Westfield. What do I have? Westfield?
Castle's there.
I have Westfield like twice in there. Castle. Delta has some pretty solid guys. Oh, you got Why don't we have Monrovia? Where's my Monrovia? We got to talk about Dalton. Oh, there's a Dalton, Blackburn, and Cameron Allen. That's who I missed Dalton there. We cannot miss Dalton.
The bandit.
Yes. Plainfield has some good guys there. Why is this? Oh, I'm looking at something else. That's why. There we go.
Edgewood's there.
Yep. You got Franklin Central, who has their big guys. Yeah, should be, pretty good. It's always a pretty solid tournament there. So we'll move on. Modern Day Classic. Modern Day Classic has quite a few guys ranked, and that doesn't include the Kentucky or Tennessee guys. They have 29 guys ranked, 41 are semi-state. And I don't know Kentucky that well, so I'm not going to pretend to know Kentucky. I think there was a nice little preview there on the board, so I will let
Christian
them.
Brothers is there, who's usually really good.
Yeah.
Not really good, but they're good. Isn't that where your buddy's kid goes? Christian Brothers? He was an Indiana kid?
There's that Bowers guy, but there's a Garrett Bowers who's from Northridge. I believe he's up there. There's going to be some good Ron Colley, and Ron Colley's there for the first time. You got Modern Day. Portage is there for the first time. You got Franklin. That's going to be some good Indiana teams. 113.
Was Avon there last year? No, Avon was there 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
They went to Rexville last year?
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple of good Trinity and Union County from Kentucky.
Yeah, and there's always like 6 Irvins. So it'd be interesting where those guys fill in. You got Cole Ross, Lane Gilbert, Cody Glithero at 113. And you got North Posey also. You got Chris Newman, Ty Haskins at 20. 26 is going to be interesting. You got Braden Lowry. Floyd Central's there also. Gavin Allstott, Alec Freeman. Kane Egley is not at that weight class. He's at he's at 132. Kane Egley, Sam Slivka, Bradley Conrad. You got Borman, Jay Conway. Why do we always put him as JJ? He's Jay Conway. David Page. Let's see. I got Viduya, Brody Bauman. Bauman had a good win last week. Curvin, Tice Freegee, Scott Fitz, and Tyler Fuqua. Franklin, that's going to be a good one, 152. Eli Dickens and Isaac Hegwood, and then Gabe Solers, Owen Sego. I just totally butchered that name. McCartney Parkinson. I guess nope, he's the only one. John McGrew. So pretty solid weight classes. You got to throw in those guys that are at the other tournament or from Kentucky and Tennessee. That's going to make it pretty tough.
I think Bellevue usually has a couple solid guys also.
Yeah. So definitely, it'll be interesting to see where those guys fill in and how they compete. I mean, Kentucky, yes, we've seen them at the IPO. We've seen a lot of Kentucky kids at the IPO, and there's a lot of good kids there, so it's going to be very interesting there. Why do I have Cheney Chef at the L. Smith? That is not right. What am I doing? Okay. I have a nice little spreadsheet, but I just totally messed it up. Al Smith. There we go. Okay. Nope. Wait. Okay. Try this. Take 2. Why is that not working? What did I do wrong here? Because no one's at Al Smith on this all of a sudden.
Are we just on Al Smith now?
Yes. We're going to go.
Pretty good, man. I think it's going to be really good. Obviously, they're going to have one of the better announcers butcher names there.
Yes.
Allegedly.
Okay, there we go.
I hope. I think that was the plan for him to get down. But I'm not sure. Malik Hall. I mean, I'm just answering questions off this timeline as we're getting things filled up.
Yes.
He wrestled 120 and Rich East this weekend. I seen that David Maldonado was down at 6. I seen that Pioski was at 26. So I think that those guys are starting to come down a weight, which is pretty good. But I know that Malik had been close or had made weight at some point. So 13, I think he's going to be pretty big. He looked pretty big at 120 when we seen him.
Yep.
So
Okay.
we might possibly get a rematch there.
The Al Smith is just stupid. Um, there's 70 ranked guys, state ranked, and that's, I mean, obviously you said you're going to try to pump some out, so we'll get this updated. 144 semi-state ranked guys.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
So there's 2 new teams this year. Calumet got out. They're going to Connorsville, and who was the other team? And Lawrence Central's out, and now Plymouth and Fort Wayne Snyder are in, which brings in state ranked guys.
Yeah, let's just put it this way. There's 112 guys will place, 144 semi-state ranked guys. So that means there's 30 plus guys that will not place at least semi-state ranked. And there's at least one state ranked guy that will not place at 182 pounds there, where there's 9 state ranked guys. That's just pretty good. Lots of great weight classes. I mean, there's only one weight class that, I guess the weakest weight class ranking wise is 120, but you're going to see a number 1 versus number 2. That's the weakest weight class you're going to get there. So,
and you got nationally ranked Setzer and 3-time medalist, a Michigan champion, Bedich. So that'd be pretty good.
Yeah. We'll go down the weight classes. These are always fun. 106. You got Sam Going, who's ranked number 1. He will not be ranked number 1 when we get the new rankings.
That'll be number 2. That'll be number 2.
Yeah, number 2. Ike Rubel had a good weekend. Johnny Cortez, Hayden Brady, and Keaton Morton, and Evan Dickey. So that should be a good weight class. Throw in like Trevor Triana, Ashton Jackson, David Maldonado. That's pretty deep weight class there. You got 9 guys that are semi-state ranked or better. 1 versus 2 at 113, possibly. Obviously, they got to make it. Yeah, you got to make it there. You got Alex Cotty and Malik Hall. You got Logan Frazier, Trey Sturgill, Trevor Schemmert from Hobart. So it's
Hyatt Yeager, Evan Rausenbush.
Yep.
Ryan Purvis.
Manuel. I should probably share this document with you. It might help you. It's pretty nice. You can check that out. Here you go.
Oh, good, man. I'm letting you lead right now. We're dancing. Man. I'm just looking at it as we go.
So that should be a pretty good weight class. You throw in even Doug Waters had a good win there. I think last week.
Doug Waters is exciting, man.
Yep.
He's a big, strong 113.
Yep. 120. Zeke Seltzer, Riley Bedich. You got Justin Puckett, who's pretty tough. Ruben Padilla, Delaney Ruhlman, Brady Esther, Brody Fogarty. That should be a pretty solid weight class, even though we're only seeing 2 state ranked guys. Obviously, some of those guys might be sneaking in the rankings this week. Depends on how things are shaking. 126, Bo Humphrey. He may be at 132. I do not know for certain. Jace Alexander, Stephen Roberson. Roberson's not going to be ranked 11th, I'm assuming. Aiden Torres, Brendan Mark, all those guys. Torres is a freshman, so everyone else has state experience there. That's pretty impressive.
Torres went to overtime with Roberson in their duel.
Yeah.
So really jumped him into the rankings.
Yep. Some other good semi-state level guys. We'll post this in a little bit. Jesse Mendez, Hayden Watson. Watson's pretty tough. Andrew Wilson, Hudson Harold. Pretty tough. And then you got also Matt Kuntz, who is not from there. Ron Cully anymore. I gotta fix that. I believe.
I heard he's making his debut.
Yes, that is correct. Alex Slates, Rasheed Bonds has had a pretty solid season. There's a lot of really good guys there at 132. That should be very, very interesting. Let me see how many other.
Those guys have a tall hill to climb, I think.
Yes. 138. You got 2, 4, 6, 8, and 14. Logan Bailey, Cody Goodwin, Logan Wagner, Kyle Lawson, Tyson Nicely, and you got Vince Sparrow, who was a state qualifier a couple years ago.
2 years ago, yep.
Yep, so that should be a pretty tough weight class. Ethan Kaiser, Deshaun Lewis, lots of East Chicago flavor there.
Yeah, Deshaun Lewis got a win over Vince Sparrow. And Ethan Kaiser was really good against Anthony Rivera from Maryville on a Wednesday.
Yeah. 145, Brock Ellis, Jacob Maldonado, Orlando Cruz, Brady McKivitz. Some other pretty solid guys. You got Alaska State champ Riley Russ back in the mix. Some pretty good guys.
I heard a rumor that he will not be there.
Oh, okay.
That he's going to be on vacation.
Oh, that's nice. Nice time to take a vacation. Go get sunny Florida. 150.
That's just a rumor. I don't want to confirm or deny, but that's what I heard.
I could probably check the. I have ways of checking things. We'll check that in a little bit. 152. Tyler Turley, Cade Law, Shane Bates, Sean Hollis, Noah Baker. Got some Scotty Sailor kid. He overcome some pretty shoddy coaching. Seth Willems has had a pretty good year. 160.
Cade Johnson. Yeah, those dudes are good. Garrett Stuckman. That's a good weight.
Yeah. 160, you have Elliot Rogers. Number 4, Isaiah Levitz, Camden Goring, Holland Donor, Sam Morrill, and Nick Winland.
Cool, be moving up.
Yeah. 6 guys ranked there. That's going to be pretty tough to watch. 170 has 7 ranked guys. It's kind of weak. 1 versus 2, Fielden and Calhoun. That should be a good one. You got number 6, Tristan Ruhlman, Gavin Lehman, Tyler Wagner, Clayton Lundy, Jacob Simpson. That's pretty impressive weight class there.
Abel Verbeek, who's a returning qualifier, who fell out of the rankings.
Yeah, and he's sitting there. John Dale, Chase Pointer also in the semi-state rankings. And now the 182-pound weight class. Goodness gracious. 9 state-ranked guys. And that's one of those things that it's going to be fun. I mean, you're going to, I assume, unless they lose a couple unranked guys, these guys are probably going to stay in the rankings. At least be really close. You got
this is a good weight.
1 and 2, Joe Walker, Aiden Warren, Jake Lone, who has 3 state medals or 2 state medals. Chris Walton, who I guess is a big wrestler. Drake Buchanan, who hopefully maybe his mom will bring some food for us. I mean, this is the battle of Warren and Buchanan. Both were a little bit lighter last year. Maybe their moms can hook us up.
Buchanan lighter than Warren too. Buchanan was coming from like 38, right?
Yeah. So and then you got Caden Freet, who's having a pretty good season so far. Cameron Smith, Noah White. White had a big win
this weekend.
Yes. Johnny Parker. You got Shay Jackson from Chesterton, who's a guy out of Colorado that was a state qualifier last year. Wade Preston. Preston wasn't the state qualifier a couple years ago, was he?
I think he was.
He was. Okay. I don't know. I know they have a. If only there's a website. He always has. He's always. I know that they have. He was always in there, and I always forget that he's a state qualifier. But was he a state qualifier? Come on.
Maybe he wasn't.
Maybe he was. No, yeah, he was. 2018. Yes.
I knew it.
Mason Winter. He was 27-15. He had 42 matches. So yeah, you got to throw him in there at that 182 where there's already 9 ranked guys. So someone's not gonna make it to Saturday.
That's tough, man. And I was able. Old boy from Colorado is pretty good, man. He wrestled Chris Walton to the end. He ended up getting pinned, but Shay Jackson was right in that match. Couple close shots.
Yeah. 195, Evan Bates, Jacob LaPlace. That's 2-3. Mark Mummy.
Rematch of last year, right? Was that the championship last year or no?
Was it?
No. Was it? Who else would have been at 82 there?
I know Laplace won, and those two are not strangers by any means. And there was a good article on.
Right on it, man. See, I knew it was. I was front row. Troy Hahn seconded it.
Yes, and on top of that, oh shoot, yeah, I don't know what I was just gonna say. Yeah, Bates and Laplace are not strangers by any means. If I could get this up here, yeah.
My boy Ibrahim Couchka there.
Yes.
Super nice. I was butchering that name.
Ibrahim. Yep. Yeah, one night fight will be interesting. Mark Mummy, who used to have two Inanimate profiles, because there's one with an EY and one not, so he only has one profile now. Brock Huber, Ibrahim.
I think he's at 82 now, and I believe Bobby Babcock's now at 95.
Nice. And you got
Little big.
Couchka. He went to Disney with us. He's a great kid. He may have been corrupted by the Carroll kids. Not really, but hopefully not. But he's pretty solid. So that's going to be a good weight class. There's some, Jade Miller from Northwood, Jacob Huffman, some kid from Carroll that I beat up on all the time. Some other, Zion Garcia, I'm sure, is big and strong from Maryville. And then you said Bobby Babcock's moving down, so that's possibly another ranked guy. Unless he bumps somebody out there. 220, Jason Streck, David Gould. I know, is it Say Davis? I know I pronounce it wrong. It's not C. Jeff McClure, Omar Couchka. You don't have their names spelled incorrectly.
Did you not take the other Couchka with you? You're savage, bro.
No, we didn't need him. We already had it.
That's even more savage. You say that right here on
we already had a 220, and we already so that should be. You got Jacob Woods. Heavyweight's going to be a fun one. I don't know. I'm kind of looking forward to that. You got Hezi DeVault, Reed Muncie, Holden Parsons, Jonathan Thomas. I'm going to assume DeVault's probably the first seed since he was returning champ. Probably Parsons, and then Muncie, and then probably Thomas, if I have anything to say about it. So
go in there and win that CD meeting, man.
Yes. Win the CD meeting. We will be live tweeting random comments. I might tag coaches that say dumb things, just so you know. Actually, I probably should not have said that.
I'll buy you a beer if you come out with the number 1 seed there.
Who knows? I doubt we'll be able to get the number 1 seed, but it's gonna be those top 4 are pretty tough. You got Jose Rosales from Goshen. I believe he was a placer last year. Lone Hathaway, Ashton Hartwell, who I believe is Triple B trained, from what I've heard. And if Triple B does not train lightweights, heavyweights his thing. There's no new seating this year for Al Smith. It's just coaches bitching. Oops, we're not going to be.
Dang, man. Sorry. 2 years with no cussing on this thing.
We got to flip that calendar back over. Episodes since we've cursed. So yeah, no, it's just, yeah. So if you're keeping track at home, there's 70 ranked guys. That might change when we get new rankings out. 144 semi-state level guys ranked. So it's gonna be a good tournament.
2 cases. Nick said that's worth a case. I said 2 cases. If you could talk Harper and let you get the 1 without splitting the beer with him.
Oh geez, yes.
Yeah. No, it's gonna be really. I mean, obviously, it's always really good. Not that there was any down years, but I really feel like Mishawaka and Coach Sandefur's really brought it like more teams in. Like, hey, we're gonna keep turning over and getting really good teams in there. Obviously, I think the next step would be like bringing in some other maybe state teams to come in that. But like 32 teams is awesome, man. It's a really amazing tournament. I think that'd be cool to get some. That was the thing I was talking with the Carnahan guys. They were saying like they had some teams that were interested in getting in out of state, and like if you have the teams that are there, plus you like get out like all of the, you're gonna bring in maybe some top teams from around the state, not like the actual state.
Yeah.
But man.
Yeah. No. Top team, you got Cathedral, Center Grove, Chesterton are probably top 3 teams to watch. As far Maryville's gonna have some guys. Mishawaka. I mean, it's a tournament format. Mishawaka has some horses, obviously. And you got to have some horses, but you also have to have some ponies that also. I want to say sneak your way into placing, but you're not gonna sneak your way into placing here. There's top 8 in pretty much every weight's going to be pretty tough. And if they're not already semi-state level ranked or not, they're probably going to be after the tournament.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you got Perry. I'm sorry, I probably totally missed Prairie. Yeah. So there's going to be some good wrestling, top to bottom. I mean, most every team here has close to a full lineup, if not a full lineup, and they have solid guys. So you're not gonna get too much fluff here, so that's good. So yep, one spot will be open next year. Elkhart Memorial and Central will be combining. So if you guys are interested, there's the Coach Sandifer. That's Papa Sandifer.
Over to be in the mix. That'll be solid.
Yeah, I can give you Coach Sandifer's number. It is 574-867-5309. Text him.
That's my joke, man.
Text him. See what's up. Make sure it'd be cool to have a couple good out of state teams. Michigan has very bad travel rules, so
maybe get a little Chicago Mount Carmel. What are they doing? They're at Cheesehead. Maybe they'll bounce Cheesehead and come here.
Yeah, I mean,
shout out to Jack Pearson.
It'd be pretty cool to have that level of add in some teams. So heck, one thing is they should add like 2 teams, and they'll they had 2 teams. They can just remove all the forfeits because they're gonna have at least there's probably gonna be about 1 forfeit per weight. It's holidays, kids are banged up. Some teams aren't gonna be able to put in a backup. Some kids don't make weight, but it'd be their luck they'd do that, and there'd be 1 weight class that's full. So
yeah,
but yeah, 182. It's gonna be pretty tough. I mean, it's gonna be fun to watch. I know you're gonna be on the mic. I'm gonna be in the bigger gym, or the bigger gym. So with the smaller guys. So I'll get to hear you calling out Carroll. Just Carroll.
I have to give at least one plug for the Fort Wayne Carroll Superchargers. It wouldn't be the Al Smith up there on the mic without me saying the Fort Wayne Superchargers.
Yeah. We're just Carroll. It's Carroll High School. All our stuff that says Carroll does not say Fort Wayne Carroll. There's nothing about Fort Wayne.
There was a guy this summer that wished that he knew there was a Fort Wayne Carroll.
Yes. There's one person there's some people that do travel to the one in Flora County and think they're coming up to Fort Wayne. That's nice.
Man, that's gonna be like a crazy team race, man. This is kind of like you have Cathedral with all these really good guys. Crown Point, Hobart has a lot of really good guys. Mishawaka has some horses. Penn's solid across the board. The Fort Wayne Carroll Superchargers are pretty solid.
Maybe, we'll see.
Perry Meridian's always really good. Those guys are I feel like Perry Meridian's the team that always just racks up bonus points.
Yeah.
Those dudes are pinning machines.
Oh, I'm wearing this sweater there, Jimmy. And it even has bells. So you'll hear me coming. I won't be able to sneak up on you.
Dang, man.
No love.
The sweater, man.
Yeah. You're just jealous that you don't have one. Maybe I bet the Mishawaka Walmart doesn't have it. They must have sold out. If not, I'll bring you one, Jimmy. You got to wear it. We'll get pictures together.
The Decatur Walmart sold one.
Yes, the Decatur Walmart did have them. Yes, Kyle Lawson. Definitely that definitely should earn him a bump in rankings. I mean,
I got him.
That definitely should. The team race is gonna be fun. There's a lot of good teams, and you got to be able to. You got to have that solid team, and you got to get some placers. I mean, even you got to have a couple horses. You got to get those guys in the placing rounds. Even 5th through 8th is going to be big because that's going to be a lot of points that they're earning. Bonus points are going to be big early on. It's going to be interesting to see how things shake out. Who's wrestling well. You got that, and then we're going into Team State next week. So the lot of kind of excited to see it. I can't believe it's already Al Smith time. Seemed like last week was, just yesterday we started the season, doing the preseason magazine, and we're already halfway through the season, so it's kind of flying by. Any other Al Smith talk before we talk about?
Dark horse individual or dark horse team?
Dark
horse. What do you Who's your dark horse team? It can't be the Carroll Superchargers.
Oh, man. As in what? To win it? I mean, Harry Kane gets
to win it.
To win it. Ugh. I mean, you got Cathedral.
How about a team that could be in the top 5?
Team that could be in the top 5. Ooh. I mean,
because you got some hammers in the top 5, man.
Yeah. Oh, man. Penn always wrestles well there. I don't know if they have the horses. That's going to be very interesting to see how they do. They always have their guys ready. Obviously, sleeping in their own beds helps. Mishawaka, Maryville. I mean, I don't even know who you'd see that's not in the top 5. I'm putting Chesterton, Crown Point, Cathedral. There's Maryville, Mishawaka, Perry Meridian.
Let's just say Dane's rankings hold up to snuff, which he does, because Dane does an amazing job. Dane will be there. Make sure you guys give Dane some love. He'll be at the Evil Czech for lunch, enjoying the pork porterhouse, I'm sure.
Yeah. So I'd say, I mean, the Maryville, Mishawaka are probably the guys that would be battling out for 4-ish, 5-ish, and actually 3 to 5 or 4 to would be, you're throwing Perry Meridian. I mean, Bloomington South, I don't know. I think they have some solid guys up and down the lineup. Belmont has some. They have some pretty good guys. I mean, Belmont might sneak in there if they have a good tournament. They wrestle well. Those your second level guys, they're going to need to get some draws, and you sneak them in on the podium. That helps out a lot. Even those guys get some good draws and get some wins on the front side helps tremendously. If they're unseated and they.
Chesterton, Perry Meridian, Hobart. Those are the 5 that Dane has. So you have to be out those
Hobart.
5.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I skipped over Hobart. That's not going to go over well.
No. Those guys will let you know it too.
Yes, they're not shy about it. I'm just waiting for old
Johansson to have a video up tonight.
Yes.
Getting that hype tape going.
Yes. No love. Danny Bell's gonna want my head on a platter.
Danny Bell out there putting in work Sunday officiating, man.
Oh goodness,
that was awesome, man. He did my nephew's matches. He did a pretty good job.
Nice. So yeah, there's a lot of good teams there. I mean, finishing top 10 is going to be pretty solid. Obviously, you're going to need to have the horses to do well there. So it's going to be a fun couple of days of wrestling. Hopefully the Chargers wrestle well, and I'll be happy.
We're going to start a New Year's drinking game. Kim said every time you say horses, they have to take a shot.
Oh, goodness. I will not say that
And then
anymore.
every time that I go on a long rant and then I finish and you go, yeah, they have to chug a beer.
So, hey, yeah.
Live from the double, what is it? No, the Double Eagle, is that what it is?
Yes, it is the Double Eagle.
Live from the Double Eagle.
We are going to, on January 1st, probably around 1-ish, we will tell you the exact time when we know exactly, when Mike tells us what time he's going to get there, but we're going to...
It's on me to figure out how to drive there on New Year's Day.
Hungover and... no. We are going to do a live bracket reveal show for Team State, so the coaches are not going to be happy because they're only going to be finding out their draws on Wednesday. So if you want Dane's phone number to send him a hate mail for not getting the draws out earlier, I will give that to you. No. You can message him. Hopefully he does not give it to people beforehand, but we are going to do a live show. It'll be on WZBD FM. I don't have a good radio voice.
You gotta say it, man. WNBC.
WNBC. Young people won't get that one. That'll be we're gonna be doing on Facebook also. At least Facebook. Maybe we'll stream it out to our to Periscope and stuff. We're not 100% certain what kind of bandwidth we're gonna get. It is Decatur. It'll probably be on dial-up AOL. So
didn't you catch some grief for trashing Decatur one time for some Decatur magic?
Yes, the Decatur magic I got trashed for. I still have the article because I said they pull out they win matches that they shouldn't sometimes, or they shouldn't on paper, and I got blasted. So I gotta wear a disguise when I go to Decatur now, just so Hopkins doesn't find me, and so that is what we're gonna be doing next week. We'll probably do our own recap of Al Smith on Sunday, so and probably try to decompress from that, and then right back into Team State. A couple good weeks of wrestling. I know we had some wrestlers at the U.S. Open this past weekend, and Nick Lee had a real good tournament, placed in 4th, beat Frank Molinaro, beat Jaden Ironman. He was a machine. Tossed Molinaro to his back. Check out the Twitter.
See that.
That's good for him. So that was
Jacob Moran looks like he's been lifting some weights.
Oh, that's good. He drew that Lee Spencer guy first round.
Yeah, not the draw you want.
No.
And then got like Zane. Was it you get Zane Richards next? Who's been wrestling really well.
And Zane Richards is like 35.
Yeah.
And Richards was like a 41 pounder or something in college. And Moran just wrestled 13 last year. What do you say?
So not the just start draw you want to start with there.
Yeah. So that's. I mean, heck, he's out at the elite athletic training program, accelerator program, or whatever that's called. So I mean, he's getting better, and getting those matches. That's good for him.
Region had 2 guys in there, right? Sean wrestled too.
Sean
Streck.
Yeah, Streck wrestled there too. There's a couple other guys. No one else placed. DeAndre Wilson at 170 or at 170 at 74, which is 163 pounds. He beat NCAA runner-up Dan Valamont.
Huh.
Yeah, and
I seen like he was like running like a GoFundMe to go like back to college or something, right?
I don't know. I didn't see
DeAndre
that.
Wilson.
Hey,
I'm pretty sure.
man, he was at 163 pounds. DeAndre is not very tall, but he was very thick, and I don't know how you'd wrestle him at that weight. I mean, and yeah, add to the quickness. He's a tough wrestler. Last we saw, he was wrestling 132, and he's up 30 pounds, and it's all muscle. So he said, "I'm not gonna screw this. I'm not gonna cut to 143. I'm gonna go up to 163," and he looks pretty big. Had a good win, obviously. I mean, Valamount isn't. That doesn't exist. That's interesting. Yeah, he beat a pretty good guy. Yeah, so that's pretty good. Hopefully they'll see those guys. I know there's a couple other Indiana guys. I know there's a guy that I know fairly well that did not wrestle. He's going to go to the Last Chance one in March. So, and Mike said he's going to wrestle at the Last Chance. I don't know if
yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Let me just start training for that. That's what I need in my life.
There's a tweet out there that there's.
I literally coached Sunday, and I woke up this morning and my like back is hurting and my ankle's hurting,
Nice.
And I'm thinking like, this dude's out here like trying to like do triathlons and stuff, and I can't even stand for 12 hours.
There's a tweet out there that this older gentleman decided to wrestle at the U.S. Open. He was wrestling Colin Moore, and someone's like, "Whose dad is out there wrestling Colin Moore?"
Someone said, "Go get your dad."
and his daughter's like, "That's my dad." I'm like,
Good for him, man.
Yeah. Hey, go do it. You can do it. Go do it.
Good for him.
Yeah. But it was awesome because the daughter was like, "Yep, that's my dad. He loves wrestling. He's gonna do it as long as he's able to do it." I'm like, "That's awesome. My body couldn't handle that."
I thought Nick was going to do some stuff like that.
Who?
I thought Nick was getting this U.S. Open. What happened?
Yeah. We'll have to get him back on there. So,
I want to see Nick get Spencer Lee first round instead of Jacob Moran.
Oh goodness, I don't want to see Grumpy Nick cutting down to 125 again. Can you imagine how grumpy he'd be? He's already.
Can we get Caleb Spires, Mark Hall too, or what?
Ooh. Spires. I mean. He's been watching video on. I know he's watched that video more than once, so he's probably trying to pick apart Mark Hall again.
I think that should be his Twitter default, just him taking down Mark Hall.
Oh, that'd be awesome. So our all-decade voting for last week, you had 145. The finals were Jason Sursus, Joe Lee, Junior Joe Lee, Junior Brayton Lee, and Junior Jordan Slivka.
Man, I seen someone tag Slivka too. Tell him like these dudes didn't have any faith in him.
Hey, if it's under the lights, it's hard to count him out.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's wrestled in some random gym somewhere, I'm probably not going to pick him. But it's under the lights, that dude performs.
He won a lot of those too, though. He did win a lot of those.
Yes. Yeah, so that'd be very. I mean, you're talking about Sursus, 4-timer. Joe Lee was a 2-timer. Would have been a 3-timer. Actually, was that Joe Lee's? That was Joe Lee's junior year, right? Yeah, 2016, yeah. And then Brayton Lee, 2017. Or no, that's Joe graduated in 2018. So that was his sophomore year. That's sophomore Joe Lee.
That's Brayton's senior year.
Now Brayton's 145 was his junior year. Because he's 152 his senior year.
Jason starts this with a clean sweep, right?
Yeah. So this is the Jason Sursus Chad Red team so far. Yeah. But yeah, that'd be. I mean, I'd love to see those guys wrestle today. I mean, most of them are still pretty active, so they're a little bit different.
I mean,
weights.
all those guys Division I. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, Joe's Division I still, right? Even though he's not like technically on the Penn State team yet.
He is redshirting this year officially. He's on the roster. So
okay.
He took the patented gap year last year to train. So
Jason, NCAA champ, and then made the cool choice to go to Arizona State. A little bit of sunshine in his life.
Yeah. So yeah, that's gonna 52 this week. Let me go bring that up. It's gonna be fun. So there's gonna be some good. Gotta move your picture out of the way. Oh yeah. Can you guys hear that? That sounds pretty good.
If you can't hear me, that means you guys don't believe in Santa. I just watched Polar Express.
Yes. Nice. Some good. Do we need our recommended Christmas movies?
You want me to rank that? we can go right into that.
152. This is gonna be a fun one. You got Isaiah Bradley, Tommy Forte. Oh, where'd he go?
Isaiah Bradley, last state champion for the Muncie Southside.
Yep, the Muncie Southside Rebels. Ooh, we got a little. This is gonna be fun. Got another Joe Lee, Tommy Forte, Elliot Rogers from last year, Sam Bennett from one of the last. Was Bennett the last champ for Highland?
Yeah, okay. I think so.
Yeah, it was Doug Welch from the Castle, Zionsville head coach. I know you got Brayton Lee senior year, Josh Farrell, who was pretty tough. Brendan Kelly.
Was it Josh Farrell or his brother? Like, that dude could really sing. Remember, like, he did the national anthem? I think it was his brother.
Yeah.
Josh Farrell, voice of an angel.
Yep. Brendan Kelly, Mr. Spladle, Trent Pruitt, Joe Lee. That's gonna be salty. There's about three guys that kind of are gonna probably get, but there's a lot of guys that if you go back and look at the bracket and see who they beat, they're pretty good. Josh Farrell was.
Pruitt beat Bam.
Yeah, he's garnered 3 All-American honors so far in college. Has another one, and wasn't he a really good pole vaulter?
Yeah, real good. I think he was really good in the pole vault.
Let's see what I know. Farrell had a real good. Farrell was
Kelly
really sneaky good.
Sherg.
Yeah.
Who's having a really good run right now at Wabash.
Yeah, he won the national title last year. So
Brayton Lee beat Elliot Rogers.
Yeah.
And DJ Washington on the way to that title.
Yep. Farrell beat Vinny Corsero in his finals match. Yeah. We could have like a final, who else? Wrong thing. Brendan Kelly. Now, who else was I going to look up? Pruitt had a pretty good
Slivka.
Yeah. Sam Bennett, 2010. He was pretty tough. He's just real solid. He wrestled D1 for a little bit. He had Chad Welch. He beat Chad Welch. He beat Zach Korp. We also had Ryan Stahl, who was a Fargo All-American. Tanner Lind was there. in that weight class. Austin
Really good.
Nyberger. Yeah, that's a pretty good weight class there. Let's see, where are we at here? I was like looking at the older guys. Doug Welch had a pretty good weight class there, so it's gonna be fun. I'll probably try to put those up in the next couple days. Try not to make you vote during Christmas. So, is there anything else we need to go over other than come up and say hi to us at the Al Smith? We'll both be there. I heard there might be.
Sure. There'll be like 50 people that didn't even watch this show. They're gonna come up to the main table and say, Joe Caprino, red or green, and I'll be like, over there, man, wrong table.
You need to get a sign. I am not the table worker. I just announced. I just butcher names.
It wouldn't even matter, man. It wouldn't. Oh, I'll butcher them. I'm gonna butcher some names.
You can't.
If you have any like pre-names that you don't feel like you want to have butchered, go ahead and just tweet them to me with the breakdown, how you want me to pronounce it. We'll do it, man.
Yes. So
we talked about doing like an Indiana Matt final sheet, so you can just print it right off with pronunciation, and then like just segment it of how you want it to be read. I think that's the best way. Like, hey, I want to be, notable tournaments, summer stuff, state placement, all the way down like that. It should be clean cut, because then you get kids like scratching out, and they're like, oh yeah, also I placed 4th at the freshman sophomore state, like state champ. But before that, like, you want your state champ to be last though.
Yeah. No, it's gonna be fun. We'll be tweeting our by the seating meeting great things that are said. Who are we gonna wait to see who are we looking at what weight they're gonna be? I was just logging in. I can't remember who we were.
Oh no, I know what it was, but we'll talk about it off air.
Okay.
Maybe Joe will have some T-shirts for you outside of his coaching stuff.
Yeah.
Tell him your size.
Yes.
Maybe Santa will come early. He'll wear that sweater and a hat and give it to you.
Yeah. So, but we want to wish everyone a happy Christmas, Merry Christmas. Hey, we get £2 allowance for Al Smith. It's the best thing ever. I know our kids are excited. I was like, man, it's kind of weird. Like, hey, this is the last time you guys got to make scratch. Like, yes, So, that's kind of, it just feels weird that, this is kind of nice that, they don't have to, they have to watch themselves over Christmas, but not quite as much. So it used to be always the last one last scratch they had to make. Getting some questions about our feed here. So, I don't know. Anything else you want to say before we get going?
Merry Christmas. We always appreciate everyone adding results, and I think that there was like some confusion that we had to add all the results, but anyone can add results as long as they're in the database. So if you have results, go ahead and add them yourself. But other than that, man, Merry Christmas. Obviously, I think we'll see you guys Friday, Saturday. But if not, have a happy New Year. Have a safe New Year.
Yep, and we will be back
and we'll see you from the Double Eagle.
Yep, we'll be back next Sunday, and then we're actually doing probably two shows. Kind of curious how that's going to work, because I don't know exactly their technology and stuff. So hopefully we got it. I got a couple backup plans ready, so we'll be going live.
Which is great.
Yes, so we'll get it figured out. We'll have it live. You guys will be able to see the draws and everything. So with that, I'm going to go maybe put up a Christmas tree. I'll tweet a picture of our Christmas tree. I'm sure everyone's really worried about my Christmas trees, but we'll let you guys go, and we will see you guys on Sunday. Actually, probably Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Some of you guys I'll see Thursday. So have a wonderful Christmas and hopefully you guys got your Christmas shopping done, unlike us.
Merry Christmas.